Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. For this week's reading, I am using the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake, and this is actually my brand new deck, and it's the first time I've ever used this deck for reading. So I got this deck a few days ago, and I've since looked at it and looked at the book, but I haven't done a reading with it yet, so I'm excited to test this deck out on you. Okay. Okay, so I'll start with the first card, and the first card is going to represent Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. Oh, nice. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Swords for Monday and Tuesday, and I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like it happens quite often that I pull an ace for the first card of the week, which is great because aces have to do with new beginnings and starting things fresh. So the beginning of the week is a good opportunity to start things over, start things fresh, start with a clean slate. And the feeling I get with this Ace of Swords, just the posture that this girl is in, she's got her arm raised with the sword in her hand. I feel like this card is really encouraging you to take initiative. So to really don't be afraid to take the first step in the direction that you want to go in. So if you've been thinking about doing something or kind of mulling over things, I think that the beginning of the week is a good time to start taking baby steps in the direction that you want to go in. Ace of Swords is about not making any more excuses. So you know when you get an idea for something, you're like, oh, this would be really cool to do, and then you're like, oh, but, and you like have all these excuses. Ace of Swords is about kind of cutting through those excuses and getting to the heart of the matter and getting really clear on, you know, what is important to you, what do you want to spend your time doing, and start taking, you know, baby steps in that direction and don't make excuses all the time. Another thing I get with the Ace of Swords, because this is the suit of swords, and swords has to do with the mind and the intellect and ideas, I feel like the Ace of Swords is about suddenly getting this great idea. So don't be surprised if you get some really good ideas at the beginning of the week. And you may or may not choose to pursue them. Just because something's a good idea doesn't mean you have to pursue it. But I think that your mind is going to be sort of more active at the beginning of the week, especially when it comes to seeing solutions and getting really good ideas. So I think the key at the beginning of the week is just kind of being receptive, being open to those good ideas, but also being willing to take initiative on the ideas that really appeal to you. Okay, so I'm doing this reading on my couch and not my table, which is why the cards are on a really unstable surface. Okay, so the next card represents Wednesday and Thursday of the upcoming week. Okay, and here we have the Four of Cups. And interesting. Four of Cups. Four of Cups will come up when you're feeling dissatisfied with things, when you're feeling kind of bored, when you're feeling really just unenthused, maybe about life in general, or you could be just feeling unenthused about a specific thing in your life. Could be a relationship, could be your job, could be a particular hobby or a project. But it seems like what's being offered to you or what is available to you isn't quite up to snuff. It's not quite ticking the boxes for you. So actually, I want to move on to the next card, and then I'm going to come back to this card because I want to see what the card for the weekend is. Oh, another four. God, how weird is that? Okay, so here we have two fours, and I think I'm just going to readjust my camera. Okay, so we have Four of Swords. Now, Four of Swords, actually, the fours are interesting. I just want to kind of deviate for a minute and talk about the fours. If you actually look at all the fours in your tarot deck, so Four of Cups, Four of Swords, Four of Wands, Four of Pentacles, the fours often have to do with kind of what happens when the energy of that suit kind of comes to a halt. So with the Four of Swords, this is about ceasing thought, so allowing your mind to rest. And not just your mind, but, just allowing yourself to rest and recharge. I think most of us can relate to that feeling that our minds are always chattering at us. We're always thinking, maybe sometimes we're overthinking, and it can be such a relief to just be able to turn your mind off. And oftentimes we can't do that unless we're sleeping, and even then we're dreaming, so we're not truly turning the mind off. But Four of Swords is about just allowing your mind to rest. So this weekend is a good time to not necessarily rest, so you don't have to just laze around all weekend if you don't feel like it, but do activities that allow you to be present in the moment and that aren't activities that tempt you to really use your mind too much. So things that are restful to your mind. So when I think of that, I think of like maybe reading like trashy novels, watching fluffy stuff on TV, kind of just giving your mind a chance to kind of rest and recuperate. Okay, so back to the middle card, Four of Cups. So Four of Cups, I kind of talked about it already. I feel like the beginning of the week, you might get some really good ideas. You might start taking action. And towards the middle of the week, you might feel a little bit disappointed. It could be that what you're taking action on isn't really, maybe you're not seeing results, who knows. But just be aware that you might kind of come up against feelings of dissatisfaction in the middle of the week. And the cure to that is the Four of Swords. So the cure is rest. I think that you might be overthinking things, kind of using your mind too much, and trying to figure everything out on a mental level. And I think that when we do this, we can actually start to feel not just mentally exhausted, but kind of emotionally bereft. We might feel that our emotional realm isn't being nurtured in the way that we want it to be. So this can lead to those feelings of like kind of what you see on the card here, kind of feeling frustrated and bored and dissatisfied. So the cure is to get some rest, to recharge your body, let your mind rest. Don't try to overthink things. And I think that in the long run, this is going to be really helpful for you. So the beginning of the week, it's important, I think, to write any ideas that you have down and allow those ideas to kind of marinate and start taking baby steps, but don't try to do everything at once. So don't try to figure out, what the 10th step is going to be on your path to whatever it is that you're trying to do. Just do the first step. Just worry about that. Don't worry about what the 10th step is going to be. If you think too hard about where you're going or what you need to do, you're going to be like this guy here. He looks like he has a headache. He's like, ugh. And then just remember to get some rest on the weekend. And not necessarily physical rest, but definitely mental rest. Give yourself a break from thinking about your problems or trying to figure everything out. And I think that that's going to feel good for you. So I'm just going to quickly look at these cards and see if any symbols jump out at me. It feels like there's a flurry of energy and activity at the beginning of the week, and then that kind of starts to drop off midweek. You start to lose steam, and then by the end of the week you're like, oh, I need some rest. So just keeping that in mind this week. And yeah, nothing else is jumping out at me, so I'll turn this reading over to you. Do you notice any symbols jumping out at you? Is there a repeating symbol that shows up in more than one card? I don't see one. Well, the cats, but the cats are in all the cards. Is there anything that stands out to you here? And please feel free to share any insights or interpretations in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And you can check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com, to learn more about tarot card reading.